Hey, what's up guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So, The Walking Dead is a fairly popular show. I mean, most of my channel is dedicated to it. Most of my videos are about the show. It's one of my favorite shows. I care a lot about the story and the characters and the franchise. And, you know, it's given me a lot of good memories. And I love the people I've connected with and how I feel like I like how it made zombies, the zombies genre, more of a cultural thing, and how The Walking Dead was something that everyone could come together and get excited about. Everyone could come together and talk about it. You know, before The Walking Dead, I pretty much just had like Star Wars. You know, like I didn't really have a lot of people to connect with. And The Walking Dead, it caused me to connect with a lot of people, and I really fell in love with the show's early seasons. But it has definitely had some controversial moments in its history and in its past 9 seasons. It's had some moments that a lot of people have criticized, some parts that a lot of people weren't happy with. The whole thing with Negan and how when he was introduced, they took this big comic moment and they turned it into this kind of cheap cliffhanger for 6 months. And, you know, Carl's death and how that completely deviated from the comics, Andrew Lincoln leaving, the crap between AMC and Lauren Cohan, the bottle episodes, the low budget, the writing sometimes, the trash people. It's had its share of criticisms, and you know, some people believe that The Walking Dead is falling apart, and I don't think The Walking Dead's falling apart. I don't know if it's at I don't know if it's at its prime anymore. I don't know if it's ever going to be as big, or if the quality is going to be as good as the first 6 seasons. I think a lot of people feel like in season 7, just something it just wasn't the same. Season 7 and 8 had a lot of weak moments. They had some good moments, but they had some weak moments. There's a lot of people that really like the first 6 seasons, and then when it comes to season 7, they're like, you trash people. Abraham and Glenn died. Bottle episodes to the max. It's just, you know, some people really kind of felt disconnected with season 7, with that part of the show, and then from there on, it really never was the same for them. And I understand the criticisms, and you know, I still think overall it's a good show. Like I said, I don't know if it's ever going to be as big as, you know, the first 6 seasons. I mean, I don't even think the first season was a huge hit. I think it was good enough to keep getting not canceled, but I think season 2, season 3 was when it really became talked about and everyone was obsessed with it. But I mean, yeah, it's had a good history. It's like I said, the glory days, its prime might not be the same anymore, but I think it could really make a comeback, and it could go on for another 10 seasons. I mean, who knows? The Walking Dead, there's still hope for it, especially with Angela Kang. I feel like she's really made season 9 good, and we need her, especially without Andrew Lincoln. So I still have a lot of hope for The Walking Dead. I mean, if The Walking Dead really started to suck, my channel would just be, I mean, I don't know what I would do. I mostly make videos about The Walking Dead right now, but one of in my opinion, one of the issues with The Walking Dead, one of the problems, I'm going to talk about it in this video. I would say maybe one of the biggest problems with The Walking Dead, and maybe some people haven't even realized this or considered this, are the spoilers. In a way, the spoilers for The Walking Dead show have kind of plagued it. I mean, so many huge, big moments in The Walking Dead were just spoiled. I mean, with every episode, there's like some guy out there that always finds out all the information like days earlier, and tells us and tells like the spoiler people and you know everyone like all the big moments in each episode, and they find out days earlier, and you know the spoiler people are happy. But then there's all these spoilers and that go on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. It spreads like wildfire. There's innocent people that don't want to be spoiled that want to experience the episodes, and they have to like stay off the internet, stay away from their friends. I mean, it's just a mess because once those spoilers get leaked, there's just so many jerks that just post it everywhere. They just want to piss people off, and it ends up ruining. It ends up ruining the episode for a lot of people. I think there's episodes of The Walking Dead when a main character dies, and maybe like 70-80% of the audience have been spoiled already. That's a huge difference between, you know, the episode being spoiled and the episode not being spoiled. Just imagine for a second. What if The Walking Dead never had spoiler leaks? What if somehow, I know it'd be pretty hard, but what if somehow, some way in its entire history, The Walking Dead never had spoiler leaks? The show was exactly the same, you know, frame by frame, it's exactly the same, but there was never any spoiler leaks. Just think about that for a second. Just imagine that. Imagine Glenn and Abraham's death without anyone knowing about it. Everything is just predictions. No one knows. And you watch that episode, and everyone experiences that episode, spoiler free. Imagine Carl's death. You know, Carl getting bitten, spoiler free. Rick getting rescued by the helicopter, spoiler free. You know, just imagine all these big moments that practically everyone knew about. Almost everyone got spoiled about before they even watched the big moments, because of how bad the spoilers are and how often people just spread them and post them everywhere. And I think that really kind of it hurts some of the bigger surprises. I mean, I don't even think Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad had those problems. I think, you know, if you wanted to find out who dies or see who dies and you're impatient, you know, in an episode of Game of Thrones, or you're impatient about what happens in the next episode of Breaking Bad, you just have to watch the episode. I mean, if Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones had as many spoiler leaks as The Walking Dead did, I mean, holy crap! I don't think. I don't think that. I think the show there'd be some issues. The Walking Dead, it's a part of it is just. I think you're really supposed to just watch the show. You know, you're not supposed to know what happens. You're supposed to watch it, and spoilers are so bad. Spoiler leaks and everyone just posting them everywhere, and everyone finding out, even if they don't want to, just touching the internet days before a new episode causes you to get spoiled, pretty much. That's how bad it is. I'm not being dramatic. That's how bad spoilers are for The Walking Dead. You can't watch YouTube videos. You can't even get on YouTube because there's all these unapologetic YouTube channels that just shove spoilers in your face. I don't even think you can block them or anything. They shove spoiler videos in your face, and all these people that spread the spoilers to people that don't want to know. It's pretty bad. I think if Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad had the leaks that The Walking Dead have, maybe they wouldn't be held on such a high pedestal over The Walking Dead. Maybe a part of, and I'm not saying they're lesser shows. I do think that Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad are probably more quality shows than The Walking Dead. Although I think I prefer The Walking Dead, although I love Game of Thrones. But I agree that, you know, Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones are just like top quality, really well done shows. Just personal preference. I like The Walking Dead maybe a little bit more. But those shows, they don't get spoiled. They don't get spoiled anywhere near as bad as The Walking Dead. I mean, The Walking Dead is just like a spoiler slut. Like, it's just like easy, and I don't know why, and I don't know why it won't change. I mean, why aren't AMC doing anything? Have they not considered that maybe the spoilers are hurting the show? Maybe spoilers are hurting the franchise? I mean, like I said, just imagine the show if there was no spoiler leaks. I really think it'd be. I mean, a lot of people would look at it in a completely different way. And I mean, like with Glenn and Abraham's death, just if no one knew, yeah, I think that would have been like a bigger episode, a bigger moment. Maybe it would have even been considered a better episode than it is considered. Because let's face it, like 75%, 80% of everyone knew that Glenn and Abraham would die. I mean, it was just so bad. That 6-month fucking... What were they thinking? I knew the second season 6 ended on that cliffhanger. I knew exactly what would happen. Everyone would get mad. Robert Kirkman and Scott Gimple would be like, oh, what? You know? And they would get spoiled. And everyone would know who died before they watched the episode. The second the season 6 had that cliffhanger, I knew all that stuff was going to happen, and it all happened. Most people knew that Glenn and Abraham would die. I mean, if you're like living in the country without internet, okay, maybe not, but I mean, if you have a friend, they probably told you who it was. I mean, it really was hard. It's really hard to watch The Walking Dead without knowing spoilers. It's hard. It's so hard to avoid. That's ridiculous. If a TV show doesn't want people to be spoiled, it should be able to keep its secrets. If a group of people want to tell a story, you know, in a TV show or a movie or whatever, they want to tell a story, and people are excited about it, and you know, they want to find out spoilers, and they want to find out what happens. Well, I mean, that's too bad. If a group of people come together and they decide to tell a story, and they want it to be a surprise, and you know, they want to reveal it to everyone at the same time without anyone knowing spoilers ahead of time, they have a right to do that. If you have a right to surprise. If you want to make a show, you have a right to keep its secrets until the episode's premiere. And I mean, there's just some people that are so entitled. They think that The Walking Dead should feel obligated to give them spoilers. Like, no, it doesn't. The Walking Dead doesn't owe you spoilers. If The Walking Dead has no spoilers and no one finds out spoilers, I mean, too bad. I mean, that's how it should be. That's how shows were in the 80s or 90s. That's how most movies are. There's no leaks. There's no spoilers. And I don't know if AMC wants spoilers to come out. There's a part of them that thinks that it helps with ratings. But honestly, at this point, I'm starting to think it hurts ratings. I mean, just like with Carl's death. I think Carl revealing his bite in episode 8, it didn't have as big of an impact as it should have had because so many people knew about it. There was just everyone going on YouTube going, "Hey, Carl dies, Carl dies, Carl dies, Carl dies." You know, and Jesus is another example. I think Jesus was a big one. Jesus' death in episode 8 of season 9, you know, the introduction of the Whispers, I think that would have been considered a better episode if no one knew spoilers. And I know that a lot of people were speculating that Jesus would die, and I get that. I understand that. I mean, it's episode 8, so it's the mid-season finale. Usually there's big events in the mid-season finale. There's sometimes a main character death. In the mid-season finale, sometimes there's a main character death. Herschel, Beth. and it's the introduction of the Whisperers. We knew from the previews that we were pretty much going to get a hint of the Whisperers, at least like something from the Whisperers. It was basically the first real introduction of them. And the last time a big villain was first introduced, Abraham and Glenn died. So if that's any indication of how the next big bad would be introduced, then yeah, a main character would die in episode 8. If that's the episode that they're going to appear in, which it was. So I understand why a lot of people thought that Jesus would die. I think Jesus had a lot of scenes in the preview. You saw him leaping around and killing zombies in the dark. It just had this eerie feeling to it. I think you couldn't help but ignore this feeling that something bad, really bad was going to happen. And you couldn't help but ignore this feeling that maybe Jesus was going to die. Just the way the episode was promoted, and it was the mid-season premiere, and I felt like they wanted to really surprise the audience. And it just kind of seemed like Jesus was going to die. So on some level, they kind of made Jesus' death a little obvious without spoilers. But there's still so many people that found out ahead of time. They actually found out the spoilers, and then they spread it everywhere because they suck at life. I don't know, but they spread it everywhere, and then there's the people that they find out spoilers, but then they pretend like they didn't, and then they just go on non-spoiler groups and they just happen to predict exactly what happens in the episode. They pretend like they don't know, but they just happen to predict everything, and then they think they're being clever. But between all that, what you end up with is an episode that's almost ruined. I just feel like every time there's a big death in The Walking Dead, everyone knows about it ahead of time. Even if you don't want to know about it ahead of time, you know about it. The spoilers are just terrible. They're just everywhere. Every goddamn where. You can't use the internet. You probably can't talk to your friends. If you want to watch an episode of The Walking Dead without knowing what happens, you have to go through so many obstacles. And that's just, I think that's just ridiculous. And it's unfair for all the people that work hard on the show and want to tell a story and want to surprise people. And it's not worth it. Why is it worth it? Why is it people are so entitled. They just need to know who dies a few days earlier. It's such a big deal. They want it so much that they don't care if it ruins the ratings get worse, if it just, the leaks go all over the place, and all the innocent people that don't want to know, they find out because people tell them. It's kind of selfish to want spoilers. I mean, don't you think? I mean, you're making things harder for the people that made the show. I think the ratings get hurt, the views get hurt. Because you already know who dies. You can just wait until after, like, you can just watch the episode online or something. Who cares if it airs live? You already know who dies. You don't need to watch it live. If no one knew, more people would watch it when it first airs. I mean, think about it. Just think about how crazy and impatient all the spoiler people are. I mean, they're impatient. They want things that now. They feel entitled to, they want a TV show their way. They don't want a TV show the way the people that made the TV show are wanting to reveal it. They want it their way. They're entitled. And it's just kind of selfish. I don't get it. You're ruining it for the people that don't want to know spoilers, and you're hurting the ratings and the views because, like I said, I think it would get more views if there was no spoiler leaks. So it's kind of selfish for people to leak spoilers and share spoilers. And there's these little spoiler communities, and I don't know why they think they're so entitled. I mean, I know there's an audience. I know there's a large group of people that want spoilers. So if you give them spoilers, you're going to have a large group of people. I mean, Hitler had a large group of people. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's good. Just because a large group of people come together, it doesn't mean it's a good thing. It's spoilers, and it ruins it for everyone else. And yeah, I don't think that's worth it. I think it's selfish, and I don't think it's worth it. I think it hurts the shows. I think it hurts the experience. I think it hurts the fan base, the people that don't want to know, because it's really hard to not know. You might as well not touch. If there's a new episode of The Walking Dead, you might as well go a week without touching YouTube. You might as well not touch YouTube until the episode airs, because otherwise, holy shit! I mean, you're running some risks. You know, some people might tell you. You might find out, and that's kind of stupid. So I don't know if AMC wants spoilers out. But if they don't want spoilers, I wish they would do more to protect them. These little communities, they go out in the middle of the night and they try to they take out their cameras and they try to listen to the actors talking, and they try to like stand over the sets and peek out and see the actors and see things that they're not supposed to see. It's difficult because they're not supposed to do it. And they do it anyway, and you peek your head out over sets, and you look at actors, and you look at things, and people don't want you to be there. And then you wonder why normal people that don't want spoilers get pissed off at you. Don't do that. You're not supposed to do it. If it's hard to get spoilers, it's probably because you're not supposed to get spoilers. If you're having to run around in the middle of the night with filming any little bit of people talking, actors talking that you can get, filming, getting footage of things that you're not supposed to see. I mean, that's kind of a dick move, and I don't understand why spoiler people are so entitled. I mean, they're gonna find out what happens eventually, but they think they're special, so they want it now, and they don't care about ruining it for everyone else. And that's exactly what happens. It gets ruined for everyone else because of them doing that. It's just stupid. That's why this channel is non-spoiler. And with Rick, some of you know this, some of you don't, but I had made a few videos about Rick because it was announced that he was leaving the show. And, season 9 would be his last season. And it really seemed like Rick was going to die. I made several videos saying that I thought Rick was going to die. I get the whole thing. I got the whole thing with the helicopter. I even made I made a theory video about the helicopter rescuing Rick. But at the time, I didn't know that they were actually going to do that. I wasn't spoiled yet. When I made that video, I said, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think the helicopter is going to rescue Rick. I think Rick's going to die. I don't think, Andrew Lincoln can just disappear and it's better to just kill him off. And I was dead set on Rick dying. I completely 110% believe that Rick would die in season 9, episode 5. It just seemed like that's the direction they were taking it. That's the decision they made. That's what they were doing. I had a hard time imagining them doing anything besides killing Rick off. If Rick can't be on the show anymore, they had to kill him off. That's how I felt. But 3 days before the episode premiered, episode 5 of season 9, Rick's last episode, I got spoiled because I was on Facebook and I was on this Walking Dead Facebook group. It wasn't a spoiler group. It seemed like a nice, friendly community of people, and there was just this asshole. Oh my god, me and him had some issues with each other. But he was like a mod, like an admin. He was like one of the head people on the group, and it wasn't a spoiler group. But he posted a bunch of stuff about how the helicopter would rescue Rick 3 days before the episode. I was just scrolling through the group, and boom, that got ruined for me. And I would have really loved that to have not happened. I would have loved to have watched Rick's final episode because I was so certain Rick was going to die. And if I had watched most of that episode, it would have just made me even more certain. The Rick talking to Shane, Herschel, Sasha, and just the dialogue between those characters, it felt like they were wrapping up Rick's story arc, and him about to shoot the dynamite, and the music, and his like famous last words, and Michonne and Daryl just going hysterical. I mean, I really would have just been completely sure that Rick died, and then that moment where you see him unconscious on the ground, you know, above the water, bloody but alive. That moment would have been so great if I didn't know, but I knew, because the human race sucks. I don't know. I mean, I hate spoiler people. I hate how selfish they are. They don't care. There's no reason to ruin it for people that don't want to know, and people that don't want to know have a hard time not finding out, because it's everywhere. Once the spoilers get leaked, you know, a major death, what happens in an episode, it just goes everywhere. People, they don't care. And that's just fucked up, in my opinion. So I really think that the AMC should do something about it. I think they should. I mean, I don't want anyone to I don't want anything bad to happen to spoiler people or anything. I just want spoilers to stop. I just want them to stop. You know, I want those people to back the fuck off and stop being so entitled and thinking that because they're special and impatient and they can't wait that extra 2-3 days to just watch the episode when it airs, that they have to ruin it for everyone else because their priorities, their entitlement to a show that they didn't make. It's just so stupid. I mean, how do you justify yourself? Oh my God. You might not want spoilers to spread everywhere. You know, spoiler groups, they might not want the spoilers they have to get shown everywhere. But it happens. It's going to happen. Every single time you give people spoilers of The Walking Dead, it's going to go everywhere. It's going to go everywhere. Whether you want it or not, that's what happens. So if you don't want it to happen, don't do spoilers. I just think that spoilers need to stop. I think The Walking Dead should be a show that people watch when it first airs, and they don't know who's going to die. They don't know what's going to happen. I mean, just imagine that. I mean, for all we know, 90% of everyone gets spoiled. I mean, I'm sure it's a big number because it's everywhere on the internet. Always, every episode, every major death for years. And it just, like I said, it's like wildfire. You can't even touch the internet. You might not even be able to talk to your friends. And that's crazy. You know, all that crap, or people could stop spoiling it. You know, I prefer the second one. And I think AMC should do something. AMC should step up. Whoever's leaking things, whoever's taking little pictures and filming stuff, and just I don't know, make like have more security or something. Have spend money on it. Spend money on protecting your show. Spend money on protecting your spoilers, your story, people's live reaction to it, because I don't think there's very much of people's live reaction to it. I think everyone just kind of gets spoiled for the most part, whether they want to or not. And I think AMC should give a damn and like reinforce their protection of their show, The Walking Dead. It's not the spoiler people's show. The spoiler people, they act like the show belongs to them. I don't know why, but that's how they act. They act like it, for some reason they're entitled to spoilers, and they're not. You know, stand up to them. Prevent spoiler people from getting spoilers. I know it's hard. I mean, the actors can get fired from saying anything, so you don't have to worry about the actors. Like, the people involved in the show, they hardly ever spoil anything. And yeah, they could get in trouble, but it's not just that. They care. They worked hard, and they care about people experiencing it without spoilers. I think most people that create a show and movies, writers, directors, they want every audience member to experience it. And The Walking Dead just isn't really doing that. It's just, I think everyone gets spoiled all the time, and it's just kind of a disaster. And I think AMC should step up, and I'm sure there are ways to make it harder. Like I said, hire more security. Just like get more people like around the area, looking out for anyone. Just protect it, protect the script, protect the episode, protect the footage, protect the actors and the sets and everything. Like hire people, protect it, get cameras watching it for anyone. Have a bunch of signs, have fences. There's ways to prevent spoilers. And because there's other shows, there's other movies that don't get spoiled. There's not a lot of people that found out who died in the Avengers Infinity War. There weren't a lot of spoilers about the Avengers Infinity War. Everyone on the internet was going crazy wanting to know who died, and there wasn't much. It was kept a secret. And I think it was all the better for it. I think if the Avengers Infinity War was leaked like The Walking Dead, it might not have been as successful. People might not have talked about it as much. People might not have been as blown away. And I want The Walking Dead to be like that. I want it to be spoiler free. I want everyone to be able to experience the episode. The spoiler people, they would be the first ones in line to watch the episode when it first airs. If there's no spoilers, they're the ones that can't wait. So I think that it would be really beneficial to a lot of people, especially the innocent people that just want to goddamn watch a YouTube video every once in a while, or use Facebook or use Twitter without getting spoiled on The Walking Dead. I mean, geez. So yeah, I think that AMC should step up their game, and they should find a way to make it harder to leak spoilers, because it's not hard to leak spoilers on The Walking Dead. I mean, good grief, it always gets spoiled. They need to change how they do it. They need to protect their story, protect their show. It's their right. They don't have to have things get leaked if they don't want things leaked. It's their right. The spoiler people, The Walking Dead does not belong to you. The Walking Dead belongs to AMC. The Walking Dead belongs to the people that make it. If they don't want it to get spoiled, that's their right. And you have no right to fuck that up. I'm not saying that to be mean, but it's the truth. So yeah, I think that there's still going to be problems with The Walking Dead. There's still going to be a lot of problems, but I really do think that the show would be better if when an episode airs, no one knows what happens. Or there's predictions, and there's the comics, and you can kind of sometimes you might know what happens, but there's no spoilers. There's no leaks. Everyone watches it when it first airs, or whatever. If they don't watch it when it first airs, fine. But I think more people would watch it when it first airs, and it would be a different, better experience if there's no spoilers. So that's just what I think. I'm sorry for ranting. I'm sorry if I came off as a jerk in this video. I'm not trying to. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying that The Walking Dead isn't as good as it used to be. But maybe that's a part of why, maybe if you think about it, the fact that it just gets spoiled to death, and I mean to death, and you can't deny it because it does get spoiled to death, is hurting the show a little bit. I mean, maybe that's a part of the problem, even if they fix everything in The Walking Dead, if the rest of Season 9 and Season 10 of The Walking Dead are just like the best seasons of anything ever, and it's just like the Godfather Part 2 of TV shows, 90% of people are going to know what happens every episode, because spoilers. That's not going to change one of the biggest problems, which is spoilers. So I think if that problem gets fixed, it's a good step forward to fixing the other problems. And eventually they should all get fixed. But spoilers definitely needs to get fixed, because 90% of everyone on the planet knowing what happens against their will is ridiculous. So yeah, that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now we are at 266 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 300 in the next few months. So I mean, we're getting there. We're 34 subscribers away, 34 people away. Just remember, every subscriber counts, every bit of support counts. So if you're interested in this channel, hopefully you'll consider hitting the subscribe button. If not, no big deal. I'm not mad. But yeah, you know, it's appreciated, and hopefully we can continue to grow the community. And to all of you that have subscribed, thank you very much. To all of you that watch this channel, to all of my community, thank you guys so much. I am so happy with how things have been going on this channel. It's getting bigger and bigger, and I'm shocked. I mean, I'm really not worthy of all the subscribers and all the views I get, but I appreciate it. I deeply appreciate it, and I'm going to continue to work on improving myself, improving the videos, and you know, hopefully we can just continue to get better. You know, the channel can get better as it moves forward. 2019 is going to be a big year for this channel. I can't wait for all the stuff that's going to come out. But yeah, that's all I got. So with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.